Hey everybody! I just got home from my homestay that I did this weekend up here in Sendai. It was pretty cool. But before that, I'll talk about my trip to Yamadera in the mountains with my sensei. So, I had already been to Yamadera, and so I was really looking forward to going a second time because I figured, well, he's a sensei, and so he'll know a whole bunch of stuff about Yamadera and the history, because I can get a lot out of going places on my own, but I'll have questions. Like, for example, a lot of the statues and shrines here in Japan have little bibs on them, literally just like red bibs, and that really made me curious. So I was like, hey, Fujita-sensei, why do they have all these bibs? And he's like, I don't know, it's probably just their religion, I guess. It's probably just a kind of the religion, I guess. So he had no idea what he was talking about. And I definitely got like this really distinct impression that he didn't really want to be there, and he was just kind of going through the motions so that he could have an excuse to go to an onsen. So we went to Yamadera, and I was really glad that I already had been there, because we like breezed through it. Went up the mountain, around for a second. He didn't stop to pray or anything, so he wasn't there for religious purposes. I think he was just there to like sightsee and show me it. And then we went straight back down the mountain, and he's just like, do you like soba? And I was like, do I ever? So then he was just like, alright, let's go to Yamagata since we're so close, which is one of the two places in Japan most famous for its soba. And soba is Japanese buckwheat noodles. And so I was like, awesome. Yamagata and Nagano are the two places in Japan that's really famous for soba noodles. So we go to Yamagata, and he takes me to like the nicest soba place in Yamagata, which is packed with businessmen, so it was awesome. And so the way that this place was serving the soba, well, there's always a whole bunch of different ways. Usually, half the time the noodles are hot in a soup. The other half the time it's just like cold noodles on a tray, and it's a dipping sauce that you dip it in. And it's like a really thin sauce. It's like soy sauce plus water plus something that tastes a little fishy. It's really tasty. So he was like, hey, I think we're going to order like 6 portions. And the way that this place served it was a big tray, and then it'd have like a pile of soba noodles, and that's like 1 portion. It's like a good... if I ate 3 portions of this soba, I'd consider it like a good meal. Like, most of the time when I eat soba, I'd probably eat the equivalent of like 2.5 to 3 of what this place had as a portion. So he was like, I was like, 6 portions, okay, like that sounds fine. So then he turns and he turns to the woman who was waiting on us, and he was just like, oh, I would like to have 12 portions, please. And I was like, I wasn't going to say anything, because maybe I'm translating wrong in my head, or maybe he's a crazy soba eating fiend. So she's like, oh, I don't know if, are you sure that's a good idea, because I don't know if he can eat all that, or if you can eat all that. He's like, no, it's fine. And then I'm, kind of like laughing to myself, because I can put some noodles away when I need to. And then, so she walked away, and it comes out, and he's like, alright, so we're both going to have 6 portions of soba. And it's just like, it's a lot of food. And so he gets through 4, and he's just like, well, I'm full. Good luck eating 2 of my portions, too. So I had to eat 8 portions of noodle, and it's like, they're like good mounds of noodles, and I was stuffed. It was my lunch and dinner, and he bought me some sweets at the cake shop, and well, that was my dinner, but it was like 2 cookies, so that's what I had. The onsen was awesome. Apparently, it is one of the onsens that you can potentially see monkeys at, because it's out. There's an onsen indoors, and then there's an open air onsen, which is just outside. And so I was getting really excited, because on the way over there were monkey crossing signs on the road, which was awesome to see. It was just like a little chimp, like, and that's what the sign was, and it was just like a little warning. I don't know, I couldn't take a picture of it because we were driving past it, but it was awesome. So There wasn't any monkeys that I saw, but I did enjoy seeing my sensei naked, and that was a lot of fun. Apparently his daughter worked at the hotel where the onsen was. And so then we just kind of hung out, and I met his daughter. So here's something that's interesting to me, because I still get hit with little culture shocks every now and then. And this guy's a professor, right? Professor at a university. So he's telling me that his daughter is getting married soon, and so it's good timing that I came, because she's only going to be working at that hotel until the end of August. And I was like, oh, wow, like, what's she doing after she gets married? And he's like, oh, nothing. Of course. Of course she's not doing anything after she gets married. Nothing. So I'm saying, and I'm aware that this is, not unusual for Japanese culture for a woman to go through college to get a job so she can find a husband and get married and then become a housewife. And I understand that. But I feel like if you're an educator, then isn't the idea that you want to help enable the dreams of young people, or at least one of the ideas, right? But how can somebody whose job involves enabling the dreams of young people have a daughter that he allows to just fall into a life of servitude, unless it really makes her happy? I mean, I can't really judge on culture. It's just kind of weird to me. So maybe some food for thought. Think about that. Okay, so then the next day, I went to my homestay, which was yesterday. So it was just like an overnight homestay. Why not? So of course that means that I've had like 6 meals in the last 3 meal span of time. We had sushi for dinner, because I told them that sushi was my favorite. Then we went to Matsushima again today. And again, I'm glad I'd already been to Matsushima, because we breezed through it. It's just because, they're from the area, so they've seen it all before. But we did get to see a really beautiful temple and rock garden that I had not been able to see last time I was there. And we ate more sushi. And I had a really awesome breakfast, and then they bought me dinner to eat later. It's in the fridge. I have some cow tongue and some here. I'm really full, otherwise I'd be eating it right now. Yeah, so I've got cow tongue, delicious. This is the kind of cow tongue that you actually just open the pack and just eat it cold. Cow tongue chips. Cow tongue chips is what it says. Well, it's really tasty. And then this is daiboshi, and it's like a really delicious fishy kind of omelet. So this can be dinner later. Maybe breakfast tomorrow. I'm pretty excited.